Hello, Donna D'Angelo from the Institute of Christ Consciousness. Thank you for joining me on another installment of the Correcting Time series. Last time I talked about the seraphim who work in the fields of our consciousness to help introduce ideas of cosmic importance. This is an integral part of the correction necessary to help our world get back on its trajectory according to our divine plans of evolution. I'd also like to talk a little bit about today the part relating to the whole. Consider that as humans, we have an energy system that is composed of various bandwidths or octaves of frequency, ranging from spiritual energies or frequencies down to the vibrations at the physical level. In between these levels, we have our consciousness, that which we use as our ability to think and feel and act. And that you might consider that to be composed of mental energies, the way in which we conceptualize our relationship to reality, and then our emotions, our feeling reactions to the way in which we interpret our outward reality. Well, you might consider that this part of our energy system, this collective whole of human consciousness, also has a relationship to the whole of our planetary system of consciousness. Each person participates in the development of the whole. And over the long course of evolution, there are probably trillions or maybe quadrillions of souls that participate in the development of this collective mindset. And so what we are attempting to achieve through this correction phase is the harmonization of our individual part to the collective whole. Now, the more we participate with our indwelling spirits to perceive spiritual energy and information, we are allowing a calibration of that spiritual energy to reverberate through the levels of our other bandwidths, through the mental and emotional and physical components of our human system of consciousness. This is something that unfolds over time as the spirit within is guiding us to perceive those memory experiences from our own life or our ancestral past, to bring that into greater awareness of how we may have deviated or conformed to universe principles and divine ideals of truth, goodness, and beauty. So the more we calibrate to these higher spiritual frequencies, this provides us with the ability to more fully harmonize our entire energy system under the over control of our indwelling spirits, which form the pattern or the template for our evolution to progress according to divine plans. So during this time of planetary change and transformation, one of the first steps is to heal our individual perceptions, our energy systems, so that they are able to relate more to the spiritual information through these higher frequencies that are being conveyed through our spirit. And then the more we are harmonized in a unified whole, this gives us our ability to respond more from who we have been created to be as children of God. It also sends a signal into the collective, because now our energy systems are beginning to more impact the collective in a harmonious way, to help our seraphim and other heavenly helpers to seed that energy and information into the planetary whole. What they do at their level is to open up certain collective circuits in our belief systems and our collective emotional history so that we can bring more light into those places in our collective consciousness where there is darkness or shadow, or you might consider that which is misaligned with divine truth and the plans for our evolution. So in this time of change, I encourage you to look at your part and how it relates to the whole, and ask yourself these questions. Am I doing all I can to participate to help the collective harmonize with the divine plans for this whole world? Everyone has a part to play. And if every human on this world was doing his or her part, this world would transform in what we might consider to be almost a miraculous way. But we are far from that. And it is through these presentations and other truth tellers that we are seeding information into the collective to help other people awaken to the truth. And the truth has been obscured for many, many millennia by a deviant mindset that has tried to run its own agenda, which is antithetical to the divine plan. But the divine plans live within us, and they are carried forth from various heavenly helpers who are charged with shepherding us as humans to foster the evolution of the divine plan on this world. And we are in a critical juxtaposition now where these deviant energies are showing us what they want to teach us. And we have a choice whether or not we want to accept these energies, these teachings, these mindsets, which are all about selfishness, greed, corruption, perversion of human consciousness, keeping us separated from our innate deity relationships. And those deity relationships are very fundamental because they are the true values, the truth that we need to receive in order to grow as strong and noble and good and godly individuals. So ask yourself, is there more I can be doing? And don't be afraid if you are guided to step outside your comfort zone, because that is where you have the most opportunity to grow, because you are putting yourself in a place of faith, which is all about growing in the mystery. And we have a divine plan that is growing through this mystery that's been shielded from us about how evolution works on a evolving material world such as ours. So the part and the whole work together synergistically, and there is much support for the whole to help the part become more spiritually enlivened. And the part also helps the collective, the whole, by adding more light into it. So moving forward in this period of correction, I hope that you will take more seriously your commitment to the whole and do your share each day by going to your spirit and asking, what is it that I need to learn? What is it that I can do to further my own growth that participates in the healing of the collective? And you will be mightily guided and inspired by your spirit and be shown many things that will delight you and fortify your faith that you can walk this path with assurance and trust in the unfolding of this mighty time of correction to bring this world back into its rightful place of our universe family, that we can cooperate with our divine plan to build a heavenly culture here on this world. Thank you for allowing me to share these thoughts with you. I hope it's been helpful, and I'll be back with you very shortly with a couple more installments as we wrap up this series. In the meantime, enjoy how Spirit is guiding you forward, and may you blossom in your own Christ consciousness. Bye-bye for now.